Hello guys and welcome to today's STPL. As you can see, I had a fight with my green screen and I lost. I could not get it to not look absolute garbage, so we're just going to go without the green screen today and just pretend it's there. It's all good. But that's the reason for the delay. It kind of set me back. Like, it took me 20 minutes to try and fix it and I just gave up. So it's fine. Not too much of a big deal. Luckily enough, we don't have Rapid today. I think he must be getting some nice rest after BSL yesterday. And yeah, we should be pretty good to go. So we'll have a quick look at the team rankings so far. This is the beginning of week 5 now, so we've already had 4 weeks of STPL. There is another 9 weeks remaining if there's no tiebreakers. If so, there'll be a couple of extra weeks most likely as well. But we've got the tables looking pretty normal. Soul and White Clan at the top, close together. Valhalla team just behind with Bull, very close behind them as well. Naz, Clan Revolution following them. Red, Eternal Friends as well. All Naz, Clan Rev, Red and Eternal Friends all on 2 wins, 2 losses at the moment. So very tight there in the sort of top middle of the table. Then you've got IRK, Ash, DM, Nice, NetWars and Psystorm all on 1 match win, 3 match losses. So there is so much to play for right now. There's a huge amount of teams that are incredibly close together, so every single match is going to be super important. And speaking of those matches, let's have a look at our first match of today. It's going to be Red versus DM. Now, Red have won 17 of their total series. DM have won 15. Head to head, Red are actually 2-1 against DM Disturbed Mind. And Red, of course, in the top middle of the table with 2 wins, 2 losses, and DM with 1 win, 3 losses. So they're definitely going to be looking to get a win here over Red to try and keep themselves a little bit higher up in the table if possible. I believe Psystorm actually won their previous game, Avi. I'm just trying to remember. No, it wasn't their previous one. I know they definitely beat someone though. I can check that. It's not too much. If you want to check as well, you can also check in the RNS thread on Team Liquid. It's got all the results and everything like that. So you can check everything. And it's all good. But yeah, I mean, Psystorm and DM, both very strong teams. Not the strongest, but certainly in the upper echelon of the teams in the STPL. Both of them have made the playoffs in round 1. So they're both going to be looking to try and make the playoffs in Season 2 as well. So let's actually have a look at today's rosters. If I click the right button, there we go. We're going to start with a ZVT between Warrior and J1. We're going to head into a PVT between LML and Kyrie. We're going to have a PvP between Horotos and Pre. Then we're going to have a PvZ between Eriador and Yop. That should be a lot of fun. Certainly the match I'm most looking forward to, just because I love watching Drone play. Yeah, this should be a cool matchup actually. There's a lot of really close games here, I'd say. J1 and Warrior, I'm not really sure how well that's going to go, just because I know Warrior, we'll go into this now actually.
Easily amused, huh?
Woo woo go go Eri.
Oh, thanks Ian Wu for the 26th month sub, man. That means a hell of a lot. But Warrior is mainly kind of the captain of Red. He doesn't play as much, but he certainly comes out when his team needs him, so hopefully he'll be able to do pretty well here. He's mostly been streaming Doom recently. He's a very big Doom streamer, but he puts a lot of effort into organizing Red and making sure everything is pretty good for them. So let's have a look at his opponent, going to be J1 for DM. Now J1 is definitely one of the better players on DM from South Korea here. He has won 80% of his games, not that he's played too many of them, and his only loss has actually been against Jaeyoon, so he's not been doing too bad against Zerg, so we'll have to see how he's going to do here against Warriors. We get into map number 1. Certainly one of our weirder maps in Season 2. It's going to be on Neo Arkanoid. Now, Neo Arkanoid, obviously a 4-player map. It is a semi-island map. There's a lot of neutral buildings all over the place, which we'll see once we get into the game. But essentially, the neutral buildings make it very difficult to make it through the map super quickly. Although it is very, very quick. It's decisively, or sorry, not decisively, it's deceivingly quick to get across the map. So if you play a little bit too greedy, that could come into it and you can die pretty quickly. But hopefully we'll have a nice long macro game here to start us off as we get into game 1. It's Warrior versus J1. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Red Zerg fighting from Germany for red. It's Warrior. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand position, we do have the Blue Terran fighting from South Korea for DM. It's J1. Okay, we'll have to see how this is going, just to kind of give you guys an update on why things are a little bit late. I had a fight with my green screen. I could not get it to look anywhere near as good as it did last time. I've got no idea why. The lighting hasn't changed or anything, but I'll have to look at that a little bit earlier next time, as that did waste about 20 minutes before the cast. So I was a little bit disorganized. This is certainly the most disorganized I've been for a while, but luckily enough, we've got started. I've not got work tomorrow either, so it'll be kind of cool. In fact, that's what makes it worse, because usually I come from work and get everything organized immediately, but I've just been sat around lazing about doing not very much today, and that's kind of led into everything going on. But it looks like J1 is going to be going for a hatchery a command center first here. Warrior is going Lings into gas. Now, you can go for one base layer, but you can also go for speedlings and go for a big speedling all in. I know it seems like you shouldn't be able to, given when you look at the map here, you've got these two temples, you've got the power generators in the middle, and that's also mirrored over here, and that's also coupled with the fact that you don't know where your opponent is right away. But we saw in a game between Essen and someone else, it was in week 1, essentially you can break through the essentially the temples incredibly quickly with mass lings. So we'll have to see if that's exactly what Warrior's going to go for. No, it looks like it is going to be one base layer. So we're gonna see some quick tech. Now, lurkers can be pretty good to go for on this map. Maybe get a quick lurker drop in, or maybe go for quick mutalisks, because as you can see, J1 is playing incredibly greedy. Very, very normal to play greedy on this map, but J1 is going to be going for tech behind this. He's going into his gas. Very likely going to see a mech opening here from him, just based on the fact that he hasn't gone for a second Rax before his gas or anything like that. Mech very, very strong on this map. It's very difficult to get attacked in the beginning anyway, and essentially as long as you can defend against Mutilus, you should be in a good spot. Now, Warrior is going to take down these Chrysalists that are blocking his expansion, and he will look to expand. Very, very, very normal to see this on this map, but J1 is going to expand just a little bit later. Well, he's going to build and then sort of mine. I cannot get think my words out today, but essentially he's going to mine inefficiently. That's what I meant to say. I wouldn't say I'm unindustrious, Abby. It's just when I'm at home, I kind of like today I've been trying to add a load of stuff to the STPL code, so I kind of destroyed my brain trying to do that, because there was a bunch of weird little logical errors that didn't make any sense to me, and essentially I got stuck with them. So I figured out how to fix them, but by the time I'd figured that out, I was already trying to essentially fight with my green screen, so I didn't have time to properly fix it. But essentially I figured out how to make it show the current streaks, the win streaks and loss streaks as well as the best and worst ones. So one of the interesting streaks that you may want to know is actually in CVP, Dragon has the highest win streak overall, I think, in CVP, with 11 wins, 0 losses, which is just ridiculous. But that's a story for another cast once we've got everything ready. I'm going to make a little overlay thing that pops up just because I've got it printing out to the actual system, but obviously you guys can't see that. So we'll work on that for the next couple of days. Yeah, we'll sort it out for next series. That's all good. It'll be done by Wednesday for sure. I also got a little bit sidetracked by playing Modern Warfare. I didn't think I'd ever play a COD game again after Modern Warfare 2, but I got it free with my graphics card, so I've been plugging away at that. But okay, so in terms of builds, we do have a double factory build coming up from J1. Armory is done already. Should see +1 armor coming in relatively soon, given he is likely to just prepare blindly against Mutalisks. Makes a lot more sense to do that than try and prepare against Hydras, and that would be a good choice, given there are Mutalisks already heading over. J1 with a bunker already up at his natural, going to make it a little bit harder to actually pressure this with Mutalisks, but there is an area you can come in. But when these turrets finish, Warrior is going to be in a little bit of trouble, but of course back at home he will be going into a third hatchery, so all this on last does get in on top of that turret. Of course the Marines do not have range, so if he can focus down these SCVs before they can finish the turret, this is actually quite a lot of damage. Going to cancel the turret, very, very good. And he's going to be able to micro here against the SCVs at the bottom. Try and get the other turret again, making sure it doesn't come up. The Goliath does not have +1 armor, so this is going to die very, very quickly. Warrior definitely does need to be careful with his Mutalist, though. If J1 takes them down, Warrior is going to be very, very far behind, but looks like Warrior is going to give up on the natural expansion for now, flying into the main, finding a missile turret. Going to see if he can take it down. No, it would take a lot of damage before it could do that, so he's going to fly back with some bruised Mutalist, but he did get a few of those SCVs. But the important story is Warrior properly droning behind this? Yes, he is. Still no third hatchery just yet, but we should definitely see that coming in very, very soon. Now, Starport is going to be a little bit of a ways away here for J1, so he's not going to have to worry about any drops. Of course, he's not 100% sure of that, because he didn't see everything in the main. But of course, when you see certain things, you should know what to expect. Now, the Mutalisks are going to continue to try and pressure this base, but as you can see, we've only got 2 additional missile turrets up now, which is going to make that very difficult for Warrior to be able to break. Now, is he going to go for a quick hive and rush for Guardians? That can actually be a relatively good strategy on this map. We've not seen it so far, but we still see no third hatchery, so Warrior definitely trying to make a ton of mutas and get in to do some damage. Now, J1 scanning around, finding the main of his opponent finally. Does see a couple of extra Mutalisks leaving, so it should mean he needs to continue adding Goliaths, which he is. Shower on boosters is done, and he's going to continue to add on a few additional buildings. So he's got a Starport coming in, and there are 2 turrets here, so it's going to make it harder for the Mutalisks to be able to come through. Now the Mutalisks going to dive on these Goliaths at the back. They are going to be able to take them down, but does need to be very careful. There's actually not that many Mutalisks here, only 10 of them. But he is going to be able to get these Goliaths for now. Should really try and focus down those turrets, but wants to make sure he keeps his Mutalisks alive. There's actually no turret that can hit this back part of the minerals. Warrior is going to be able to do a ton of damage here. Really nicely done. But he does need to be careful that he doesn't get all of his Mutalisks trapped. This is his entire army, and the Mutalisks are getting incredibly bruised. Looks like he wants to go in for some more damage. Gonna try and focus down some of these Goliaths, but with 3 Goliaths popping out at a time, this is very, very ill-fated. Looks like most of the Mutalisks do get away, but does need to still be very, very careful. Now, there's no Queen's Nest still, and very few drones, so technically Warrior is all in with this. And the fact his Mutalisks are so heavily bruised means he has to be careful. If he loses all 3 of those Mutalisks there, that's going to be a ton of health lost. Now it looks like J1 actually went for attack first. Now that does give you an option to go for a little bit of a timing. Usually it's not as good against Mutalisks, but he should have a decent amount with the turrets as well. He's going to go into a Radiate behind this. And the Mutalisks are certainly going to have some trouble. Now, let's keep an eye on the health. It looks like a couple of Mutalisks, the 3 of them did get left out. That's a good thing. Does want to make sure that he doesn't lose any of them. Now, just a single Mutalisk scouting around, just seeing if he can find anything. Very, very important to keep the unhealthy Mutalisks away. Now, the third hatchery is finally coming in. J1, he has now got his 3 factories. He should be looking to take a third after this. And Irradiate, as soon as he gets the minerals, should really start after a vessel. So we'll have to see if he does that. But here we go. Warrior going to come back in, see if he can do some damage. Doesn't get that one Goliath, though. Does miss that critical mass of Mutalisks that he does need. Looks like he forgot to either rally them in quicker, or he didn't put them in his control group. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But does really need to swap this hurt Mutalisk out. That's at the front as well. So very, very easily to target that down for J1. Now, Hydralisk then coming in. There will be a tech switch after this. Evolution Chamber coming in as well. The Mutalisk flying back in. Another one going down. He does see the vessel is on the way. But this is a good move. Moving into the turret. Nice repair on that turret for at least a couple of seconds. But Warrior needs to dive on the SCVs. Like, killing this gas. He's just going to lose his Mutalisk again. Oh, nice scan by J1. Going to catch another Mutalisk as it flies away. And J1 still in a pretty good spot. He's up 16 workers. Obviously, a Zerg player will usually be behind in drones, but Warrior was pretty all in with that attack. And did he do enough damage? Now, this is part of the issue. Warrior has spent so long building up his Mutalisk count. He does have +1 flyer carapace. The J1 is getting ready to hit a big timing attack here. Usually you would actually see 5 factory, but he's killed so many of the Mutalisks over the last, say, 5 minutes or so, that he doesn't necessarily need to worry about the Mutalisk count with this kind of Goliath count. Now, Irradiate is almost done. And when Irradiate hits these Mutalisks, Warrior is going to have to spread absolutely perfectly, or he is going to lose this game. Now, it does look like we've got nearly 2 control groups of Mutalisks coming in now. It's very difficult to control this. Oh, the Irradiate coming down. The split just not there. He cannot seem to find the Mutalisk finally. The split Mutalisk, well, the Mutalisk does get split off, but look at how bruised these Mutalisks are. And when this is your only defense against this massive Goliath force, how are you going to defend your main? Now, there's a 4th hatchery, coming in behind this. A couple of extra idle drones where he's trying to do as much damage as he possibly can with the Mutalisks. But he doesn't have Sunkens at the front. He doesn't have Lurkers. Looks like he's going for Hydra speed and range. This Hydra definitely going to get into the fight there. Scan going down, seeing the Hydralisks. But he should know he is in a very, very good spot. The Mutalisk trying to come in at the back to snipe this lone tank. Unable to do so. J1's control very, very strong. Now, is +1 attack almost done? Yes, it is. This is a perfect timing for J1 to go in. +2. Oh, no, it's +2 attack, sorry. +2 attack and 1 armor is about to finish. I don't think Warrior has enough to defend against this. The fact he skipped Lurker, the fact he skipped Sunkens at the front, like, Warrior, oh, it's definitely going to be difficult. He's certainly going to give it a good old college try, as they say. But we'll have to see if it works, because this is definitely looking like a J1 victory here from my point of view as a Terran player. But if he can get a perfect engagement with all of these Hydralisks, if he gets enough reinforcements in time, maybe he can make a miracle happen. But there we go. Oh, he grouped up the Mutalisks. Okay, so he focused down the Mute. That was very, very close. He almost lost a ton of his Mutalisks there. Now, the tank is going to have trouble against Mutalisks on this high ground, but he's got a vessel. And you can already see he's slowly pushing forward, going to gather some of his units, pull them back into the tanks. But Warrior with a really good move back. But here we go. Warrior going to pull the trigger here. He's going to try and fly in, get as much damage as he can. Picks up a couple of the Goliaths at the front. Doesn't lose that many Hydralisks, but he does lose a good number of Mutas again. And the Mutas are going to be what allow him to contest the tanks. There's no Zerglings here or anything Obviously both Hydra upgrades are done, but that doesn't necessarily matter. Another hatchery being added on very, very far away. A second Hydra den, actually. I think he must have tried to go for double Hydra upgrades, but maybe this is a backup in case his Hydra den dies. But certainly, our warrior is not in a good position right now. We already see J1 taking his third gas immediately on expanding. We're now up to 5 factories. Good amount for Terran. The Mulus try and fly in again, do go down, and Hydra's once again pushing forward. And every time he pushes forward here, he's just hemorrhaging units. This is 2-1 mech. His non-upgraded units are not going to be able to deal with it. Yes, he's got +1 attack, but he has no carapace. Now the Overlord's trying to come in to soak some of the Goliath shots, but good target firing by J1 is going to stop that reality, and the vessel nearly goes down, but no, it doesn't. GG! Warrior taps out, and J1 takes game number 1. Now that was certainly a relatively straightforward game there for J1. He defended against Warrior's 2-hatch Mutarall in, and from there Warrior was kind of behind. He had to make something happen, and he did try and play greedy to try and get past it, but unfortunately J1 with the super quick upgrades managed to get in and end him with a 2-1 timing attack that Warrior just really did not have enough stuff to stop. So unfortunately, that is the end of game number 1, but I'll be back with game number 2 after this very short break. See you guys soon.
People like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibby dee dee on do do do. Skibby on do do do. Skibby dee on do do do. He's the map man! Ba da ba da ba dee da ba ba da bo. Ba 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 da bo. Bee da ba ba da bo. Ba 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 da bo. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 2 between Red versus DM. We just saw J1 take down Warrior, and we're going to be heading into our second game here, starting with Red's LML. LML, kind of a new player for Red for Season 2. He's actually quite an old school name, I believe. He's been around for a while. But in terms of STPL, he's won 50% of his games, and that's all within Season 2, every single one of them. He's played every week so far, so this will be his 5th game. Let's see how that's going to affect his 50% win rate as he faces up against his opponent, Kyrie from the USA. I believe he's actually a Korean living in the USA, but we'll count him as a US Terran for now because that's what I was told. So it's all good. Kyrie has only got a 40% win rate overall, but he's had some wins against some very, very good players. He beat Medino in a TVT. He beat Richley in a TVT as well. But Richley was playing his off race. That was a long time ago. But in terms of TVP, he's actually one win, 3 loss. So a little bit difficult for him, at least statistically. Kyrie definitely going to have to try a little bit harder here if he wants to beat LML, who's doing pretty well so far this season. And let's have a look at the map we're going to be heading into. It's the return of Carthage 3. This is certainly one of my favorite maps in the map pool. A very, very fun two-player map. Very standard as well. Obviously, the hardest thing about this map is actually moving through the middle. Early on, there's only really there's 4 very tiny chokes to try and push through. And if you open up the temples in the middle, you get kind of a wider area to push through. So flanks, incredibly important to be able to make those work. And essentially it makes it very difficult to surround. So this, at least so far, TVP, Protoss have had the edge, only just, so nothing statistically to worry about here for Kyrie as we get into game number 2. It's LML versus Kyrie. Okay, starting us off here in the bottom right hand position we have in the red, fighting for red, it's the German Protoss, LML. And in the top left hand corner we do have the blue Terran from South Korea, living in the United States of America, or possibly just from the USA. It's Kyrie fighting for DM. And just to quickly answer a question in chat, Martial, I hope the stream's working for other people. I don't know if it's working for you now or if you're still having problems, but I really hope everything's okay, man. Okay, Kyrie's going to be walling in here. Very, very standard to do this as Terran on this map. You can do a depot and a barracks wall. Obviously, walling against Protoss isn't the most common thing to do anymore, but if you look at the map, there's actually quite a big choke here at the natural, so while you can build a bunker, it gives the Protoss a lot of surface area to actually kill it. So it makes it a little bit easier to just wall in early on, or at least prepare to wall just in case, because proxy gates, very, very popular on this map, very, very powerful as well, but given there is so many proxy locations, you can already see Kyrie checking the first main one, just to make sure, obviously doesn't want to get cheesed out of the tournament or anything like that. The gateway gas coming in from LML, perfectly standard play from him, nothing much to really say about that. Now the only Terran we've actually seen LML play against was on the other two-player map we have in the tournament, Blitz X, where he lost against Terra, so I definitely say Terra is on another level to Kyrie in terms of ability, so I think this game is going to be a lot closer. Obviously I can't be sure, but you can see that Kyrie, wow, Kyrie's actually going for command center first here. That is very strange, but going to use the barracks and the command center to create a semi-wall as well, so nicely done by Kyrie, checking that proxy location, knowing that he should be safe, but there is a Zealot coming in, and now the SCV is going to chase it just to confirm, and looks like he wants to try and keep the Zealot in his base as long as possible, because he knows that he doesn't have a barracks yet. His bunker, his marine is going to be a very, very long way away now. Is LML going to make sure the Zealot passed the right way? No, the Zealot is going to waste a little bit of time in the middle of that. No, he realizes, he turns it around. That does save him about 5 seconds, I would say, in pathing. Very, very important when you're going for kind of a little bit of early Zealot pressure. Now, the first Dragoon is out as well. Just in case anyone's watching this and you want to know where to rally, if you rally to this location here, your units won't get confused. You can rally straight there and they won't try and go through the middle. But if you rally to the opponent's main, they will get stuck. Now, the first Zealot going to try and go in, see if he can get some damage. Some additional SCVs have been pulled out here. He does need to try and get on top of the Marine if he can. He blocks the bunker from going up. Nicely done by LML so far. But, I mean, Kyrie's doing a pretty good job with his Marine micro here, keeping it alive. The bunker does go up. The Marine is actually close to dying, but if he gets in the bunker, he's not going to be able to kill the Zealot, so he is forced away from the bunker for now. Nice moves by Kyrie, though, keeping that Zealot busy. He does lose the second SCV, and here comes the Dragoon. Now, is the Dragoon going to try and risk running past the bunker? No. Looks like he's going to play a little bit safer. Wants to make sure he doesn't lose to anything silly himself. Now, range is almost done, so he's going to be able to put that pressure on. And he is going for, I think that Nexus came up on about 25, 24. So, very, very economical build coming out of LML. Kyrie going back in just to confirm that everything is as expected. I guess it was a 28 nex. Yeah, it must have been a 28 nex. He lost the Zealot, didn't he? But Kyrie is doing his best to just try and scout out, sending another SCV already. He really wants to make sure that LML isn't doing anything cheeky here, because I mean, Kyrie has played incredibly greedy so far, so he wants to know if he can skip his engineering bay or not. Now, setting this SCV out, it's a good move, but the trouble is the Dragoons are just going to kill it, and that's another wasted SCV. Obviously, the more SCVs you lose, the harder it becomes, because your economy gets worse. The Protoss, who's going up to a Nexus just after your command center, is going to be able to catch up in work account, and if you're in even work account with a Protoss on even base, that's not really a position you want to be in. Obviously, the Protoss does want to be a base ahead, and Kyrie is definitely ahead after building his CC so early. But if LML just forces some extra lost mining time here, then he should be in a good spot. Now, we see Kyrie playing a little bit nervous here, adding the 4th Marine. You don't necessarily need to do that, but if you're worried about a possible bust, any additional Marines can help. Now, the tank is still a ways away. It should spawn in just about 10 seconds or so, maybe a little bit sooner, but it will not have range. And there we go, he actually gets one of the SCVs repairing. Look at this, this is that area I said that was kind of troublesome to deal with. He can only get very few SCVs repairing this. Now, luckily enough, LML didn't send any additional Dragoons over. He's got one of them back at home. And he did skip a couple just to make sure he got this Reaver tech up. So Reaver's going to be the tech of choice here. Now, Kyrie does need to be careful. If he loses this bunker, he's going to be in big, big trouble. But siege mode is done, and LML is going to be forced to pull back. Nice moves, going to get as many additional hits off as possible, but without losing any hull damage. Now, range on diagonals will never stop ceasing to confuse me. That really doesn't make any sense. But we've got Depot coming in. Academy is coming in for the scans. We do have a dropship on the way, so we're going to see quadruple vulture drop here with double vulture upgrades. And of course that is going to give him the option of going for a wraith, but he doesn't yet know that there's Reaver tech yet. He doesn't have a scanner coming up as natural either, so he's going to have one scan. Let's see where he's going to use it. If he scans the wrong place here, he could be in a lot of trouble. Now, I turned off the vision too early. It looks like he's not ready to use the scan, so we'll just leave that for now. Armory coming in, and now he's going to send the drop out. Let's see. Wait, is he going to fly the drop into the... Okay, so he scans the Reaver tech. Super important that he sees that, but he's going to lose his dropship. Oh, that was really big. That was an actual big mistake to try and path it that way. And look at this, because LML knows about the drop now, he's going to send all of his Dragoons back. And he's going to be able to defend against this. He may even be able to intercept the dropship. This will be massive if he gets that. There's a tank in here, and he does! What an amazing play by LML, moving into the perfect location to snipe the dropship. Damn, that was nicely done by LML. Now, of course, we do have a couple of vultures heading around the left-hand side of the map. They're going to find this third base. No, they're not actually. Oh, yeah, they are. They're just going to path in a weird way. But there we go. He does take out the probe. But, I mean, he's not going to be able to get in and do any damage. And Kyrie is really far behind now. For some reason, the shoulder. Here we go. The Reaver coming down into the main. There's no anti-air. The Wraith has finally spawned. The Scarab. Oh, it bugs. It bugs. It bugs. Okay, we're safe. But, I mean, Kyrie has one way back in this game, and it's to kill that Reaver. If he can get the Reaver and the Reaver shoulder, he needs to drop the Reaver. Okay, he does, but loses both of those... Loses both of the Zealots. A little bit unfortunate. Laying some mines in the middle of the map. Going to make it a little bit easier, but the Wraith is going to go down as well. And things are certainly going well for LML. Now, unfortunately, he didn't do any damage with his Reaver, but the fact he deflected the drop and deflected the vultures so well means he's actually pretty far ahead in this game. Now, Kyrie is going to play a little bit greedy, try and expand super quickly to a third base. He doesn't have that many factories. He doesn't have that many units. He only actually has 2 tanks to his name right now and 2 vultures. Now, there's already dragoons in place to defend against this run by. LML is playing this out perfectly. He knows exactly what Kyrie's going to do, and he's countering it. Now, the one problem is he did lose his shuttle, but... Oh my god, the Reaver actually got hit by... Oh, the Reaver's going to go down to the mine! Okay, that's the biggest mistake that LML has made so far. He had a shuttle right there, but unfortunately, he didn't manage to go in. Now, this is remastered. I've just got dynamic lighting turned off because I don't like it very much. I did put a poll up on the STPL TV Twitter, so if you do want to see dynamic lighting, please feel free to follow the STPL account and vote on there as well, because you'll learn about all of the goings on the STPL. Okay, there's another dropship here. Wait, was there another drop I missed? How, wait, what? How was there a drop I missed? He didn't have any units. What time was the drop at, Siri? I'll go back and check it afterwards. I tell you what, today is not my day. I'm really struggling with this, but... Okay, so the turret's up. He's going to go and expand to his third base. Oh, okay, I didn't miss a drop. I was going to say. Yeah, LML for some reason has actually cut probe production for a long time now. He does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways. He does have quite a bit of tech. But he did lose his only Reaver, so that's a little bit unfortunate. And the third base of Kyrie is going to come up soon, and that's when things are going to get a little bit rough for LML. He's going to be down in probes. I mean, he was down from the beginning just because Kyrie did go for a 14cc, and he didn't actually lose any probes to anything, so... It's a bit strange, certainly not something you'd normally see. Now, we do have Citadel up at the bottom. We've also got +1 attack coming in. Now there is some vultures trying to get in over here on the third base. Do manage to kill 1 probe, but that's it. Gonna be forced to pull back. And I guess they must have got one of the gas probes. But I mean, LML, despite the fact he is down in probes, is pretty much airtight against everything that's going on. Now LML is going to take 4th base. He's going to expand to the mineral only in the middle. Now, this isn't the best base for him to be taking, but essentially it's probably the easiest because he's not going to have to stretch out very far. And regardless of where he expands now, he's going to be expanding slightly closer to his opponent. Now, Kyrie is playing super defensively. He's got a lot of mines, a lot of tanks back at home. He does have this additional dropship, but he's not doing anything with it just yet. He'll be saving that for when he goes for his big push. +1 attack is done. Let's check his other upgrades. +2 attack, though. Very, very late for this stage in the game. It's 12 minutes, and he only has +1 attack a third of the way done. He has added a ton of additional factories on, though. He's up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 factories. We're going to have 7 of them. Wait, is that 9? Have I miscounted? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's on 8 factories. There's 6 factories without an add-on and 2 building tanks. So his tank count's going to be quite low for this stage in the game as well. But not Kyrie. LML is going to expand again. But LML doesn't really have the kind of workers to actually transfer them. Like, look at this. He's transferring out of his main, but he's now not fully saturated at his main anymore. His natural is maybe a little bit oversaturated given the lack of, or the amount of minerals. Yeah, he definitely needs to transfer a few away from his natural. And I mean, his third base isn't saturated either, so this is certainly not the best economy here. Now, looks like Kyrie does want to take down the temples in the middle, push towards that possible 4th base. But LML is going to try and loop in behind this. It's going to be very difficult to attack a Terran player who's on this high ground though, so LML definitely does need to be careful. But where's the additional tech? We finally have a Stargate in, but the Arbiter Tribunal isn't done yet, so LML is going to be using pure gateway units against 1-0 mech, and that isn't necessarily a fight he wants to be taking. His probe count, it's still not great, so he doesn't have full saturation everywhere. But LML's going to try and jump in. Here we go. There is going to be a Zealot drop on these tanks in the back. See if he can get some additional damage done. Nice moves by LML so far. Oh my god, the Dragoons at the back taking a ton of damage from those mines, but the Zealots and the Dragoons at the front managing to break through the huge number of tanks. The Dragoons at the back have broken through as well, and it looks like LML may have done this. But there's so many vultures at the back, the mines going off on the Zealots, killing most of them. And Kyrie holds for now, but LML still has a huge army behind this. He does need to be careful though. He cannot be pushing into mass tanks, mass mines with just Dragoons. But I mean, his probe count hasn't got up that much more. We do finally have an Arbiter coming in with Stasis on the way as well, but I mean, LML certainly killed a lot of tanks there, and that is a massive, massive advantage because we still have Kyrie only building 2 tanks at a time, which means any subsequent fights, it's going to be mostly vultures here for Kyrie. Looks like he's going to scan and get one of those observers. He will get the other one as well. This is a pretty big mistake by Kyrie, by LML, to leave all those observers in the same place, but let's see what LML can actually do here. He pushes forward. He's gonna, wow, a vulture kills a Dragoon there with the last shot. He's gonna push forward a little bit more, gonna zoom out a little bit just to see if we can keep that on, but it is certainly not a position that LML wants to push through. But Kyrie's taking a 5th base now. Oh, we've got a ton of vultures heading over here to the left-hand corner, and they are going to get a ton of probes, and this is going to really hurt LML's economy. There's a ton of cannons over here, though, and Kyrie's focusing the cannons, not the probes, so yes, that's going to make this follow-up run by a lot better. But by killing all of these cannons, that's 800 to 1,000 minerals that are going down the drain, unless I'm miscounting there. And LML manages to keep all his probes alive, so that's definitely a win for him. But we see no 6th base coming in from LML just yet. Kyrie is slowly rebuilding his tank count. +2 attack is done with +1 armor, so that's definitely where you want to be. But let's see what LML can do, because LML is certainly in a weird spot now. His army isn't all that great. He does have +1 attack, but that's not going to really help him against 2-1 mech. And if Kyrie can secure his 4th gas, Kyrie is definitely in a good spot in this game still. His worker count is massive. Yes, oh, the shuttle's going to go down. No, it's not. He just about managed to keep it alive there. And Kyrie's pushing forward. He's securing that 4th base, 5th base even, 4th gas. Now let's actually have a look at the saturation. We've actually got double Stargate Arbiters coming in now. LML against Terra put down some pretty cool stasis, but look at this. We've got the vessels, the vultures, and the Goliaths taking out the 5th base of LML. That's certainly not a position he wants to be in. He does manage to pull his probes, but very, very late. Now, is this going to be good enough? He needs this base. He's not, for some reason, taking this base just yet, and it looks like LML wants to go for a big counter. But the trouble is, there's going to be vessels here getting ready with EMP. He knows that LML should be wanting to do some kind of counterattack because he wasn't defending. But looks like LML is kind of undecided on what to do and where to go. And I guess this is the problem when he knows there's massive minefields everywhere. Nice scan by Kyrie. Going to confirm where the army is. And it looks like Kyrie's getting ready to push through the middle. He's bringing SCVs here for turrets. That's going to help against the Arbiters. He can also use them to try and put down some buildings in the front to make it hard. I know he's just sacking a couple of extra workers to get some more tanks out, most likely. and it also gives him a scout down. Now EMP hitting the only Arbiter with any energy. Massive problem here, but LML coming in with a ton of units. Nice D-Matrix at the front. The front two tanks going to be doing a lot of damage, but LML Zealots continue to cut through them. And LML actually gets a pretty, well, I'd say it's a favorable engagement, but I think they both lost about the same amount of supply. Now, there's two shuttles back here with nothing in, so I think he did drop some Zealots to the back line there, which certainly must have helped, but they have been cleaned up. No, he can't have done, because there's mines all over here. Why did he not drop anything? A little bit unfortunate, but... yeah, we certainly do need some form of recall or anything coming in from LML, because Kyrie is just slowly growing. His third gas has obviously been up for a very long time. His fourth gas has just been established. He's not going to be broke for a very long time. Now, are we going to see any form of transition out of Arbiters? I mean, there's no fourth gas yet. He lost his fourth gas over at 3, now at 9 even. Now, if this game goes on a lot longer, the fact that LML had that base for so long is going to probably help him a little bit, because obviously Kyrie is going to look to try and expand this way, because this is naturally going to secure this base as well. So, I mean, if he goes for an expansion over there, it's going to be partially mined out, whereas this new 5th base for LML, nobody's touched this base yet. So, I mean, this could still be a ridiculously long game. Now, oh, we have an EMP on the army, getting a lot of the shields of those units. It's not very often you get to see EMP used on the army, but it is very strong. Now, the trouble is he EMP'd the army, but there's 2 vessels here, 2 Arbiters even. Let's see where he can stasis. He's going to try and go for the back stasis. No, he loses one. Oh my god, he only stasis a single tank. But is there just too much Protoss here? Kyrie, his supply is dropping very quickly, but it's just Dragoons against just tanks. They're fighting through a choke as well. This is certainly not a position that LML wants to be fighting in. He's trying to bust his way through, but the Dragoons are just falling so quickly. A D-Matrix gonna keep that back tank alive. Finally, the Arbiter's up here to offer some cloak, but there is a science vessel. And the mine going off as well, making this even worse, but he has managed to break through, and somehow they are both completely even on supply again. Now there's probes transferring up to the right-hand base, but we've got a scan going down. He's going to send some tanks and some vessels over. Where's LML's army? It's all the way back here. He finally has something in his 2 shuttles. He needs to try and go and defend his base. He's going to be losing more and more probes. I mean, this is certainly not looking good for LML, but Kyrie, I mean, he's been taking a lot of blows as well. His tank count has been reset so many times. But he's got 5 factories building tanks at a time. He's hitting that flash macro of just having like 1,000,000 factories with machine shops, just so you have infinite tanks. He's lost all of his probes at this 5th base. A mine going off on the middle there on one of the units. And an EMP going off on an Arbiter that was just kind of left to die in the middle of the map. Another big mistake by LML. But let's see if Kyrie has a bit of better luck here as he's trying to push through again. LML just, he doesn't have much army here. And there's not enough Zealots. They're getting stuck behind the Dragoons, but he's still managing to push through. Storm now coming in, doing a ton of damage on those tanks. And the shuttle's actually really helping out there with that engagement, dropping in the backline. And somehow this time, LML has retained a supply lead. Now here we go. Could this be a recall? Yes, it is. Recall into the 4th base here with the final parts of his army. Going to be taking down a ton of SCVs. No, the SCV is going to run away, but he is going to focus down this command center. Now the one issue with this recall is his units are now going to be trapped. Does he have the ability to get the units out? Does he have enough energy to try and move them away? Looks like he's going to try and get one of the vessels. He gets both of the vessels. Massive pickoffs. There's even... oh, there's no storm energy. That's unfortunate. He's trading incredibly well, though, on this ramp somehow. And the high ground really saving Kyrie. His tank's very close to death, managing to stay alive against the goons on the low ground there. This is a pretty cool macro game still. Both players, I mean, LML does have a supply lead again, but he's only down 6 workers now. So that's at least something. Looks like we had a couple of extra vultures flying in, losing their lives there. 3-2 upgrades are done for our Terran player. We've got 2-0 for our Protoss. Do we have any additional tech coming in? No, still double Stargate carrier. No +3 attack, it doesn't look like. Yeah, no +3 attack. Now, this is going to be a problematic location to defend. We do have, is that another Arbiter? No, it's a probe going to expand again. It looks like he wants to maybe give up this base. The tanks on the low ground are going to make it very difficult to engage into this army. He needs to pull his probes away. His probes, they're all stacking up on the mineral. If he gets those targeted, he's going to plummet in worker count. Oh, this is tough. It looks like the tanks finally hitting all of those probes. He's got a massive supply deficit in workers again. Look at this, it's just tanks. Zealots going to be dropping on them a massive amount of own friendly fire damage going down. Storms at the back as well on those tanks. Nice storms. And the Dragoons are going to be able to clean this up again. Once again, LML takes another engagement, gets another victory. But just look at the bank of Kyrie. He has not been hurt very much at all. He's taking his 4th base again. But here we go, an Arbiter recall coming in once again on this 4th base. Going to be very difficult for Kyrie as he is slowly starting to mine out of all of his other bases. And he's still pushing forward over here in the top right. He does need to be careful though, doesn't want to lose these units. Very, very important. But the 4th base going down again. The SCVs getting Koala. Huge storm, getting a ton of units. And once again, the supply count is flim-flammed with the workers. Now LML is only 2 probes down again despite losing so many. That was a massive storm. And we've actually got a cannon coming in over here. Now, it looks like he did eat a mine somewhere, so does need to be careful. The shot going to go down. Big, big loss there. And this 5th base is definitely doomed. A recall actually on this ramp. Very interesting place to recall, but a nice storm on these units. But recalling on the low ground, not the best recall, and both players completely tied up in supply again. He's so close to getting a stasis on the... Oh, the Arbiter was so close to stasising. He does get a double... Well, he gets one of the EMPs and doesn't get the tanks. But here come the Zealots once again. The units are on the left. Look like they're recalled out. And he's going to try once again break through Kyrie's army, but Kyrie's army is getting bigger by the second. Although he's losing most of his tanks, he's not got a gas bank anymore. He's fully mined out of all of his gases. The Zealots get on top of those tanks and clean it up. And Kyrie is going to be in trouble now because look, he's nearly mined out of this gas. His natural gas is completely gone. His main base gas is gone, and the only base he has left is this one. Now that could have been an incredible mine drag, but luckily enough, well, not luckily enough for us, but luckily enough for Kyrie, he didn't get that. Now Kyrie is so busy dealing with everything else that he's unable to see this. Now the Templar are going to go down before Storm is done. This Nexus is still alive, but look at this Zealot, it's still killing more and more SCVs. 4 SCV kills on that one little dude over there, a little hero for Aya. Now Kyrie continues to try and block 3 because while Kyrie... Well, okay, so this is one of the ironic things. Because LML's saturation was so bad early game, he actually has quite a lot of minerals left at his natural. Well, I say quite a lot. It's nearly mined out, but his gas... Okay, his gas is almost depleted as well. But yeah, he's going to try and break through again. Could this be a mistake? A big stasis on 2 of those back tanks. Gets another one. The stasis not really as big as I'd expect it to be, but he is going to be able to clean up the tanks again. But LML, is he playing a little bit too aggressively? How did these tanks get back here? I think they maybe went the wrong way. Now there's no anti-air here, so those Arbiters could actually kill those 2 tanks. But unfortunately he doesn't really know what's behind all the stasis. Now we've got another recall coming in here. I look like I missed the recall there, but it's fine. He's going to block the 4th base from coming up, but has he just trapped these units? These units are incredibly important. Both players super close in supply. Obviously blocking this base is the most important thing in the game right now, But if he can't get these units back out, if they're just going to go down to these tanks, could we still see a Kyrie victory on the cards here? This is such a ridiculous game. But we've got LML trying to come in from multiple angles. A big storm on those tanks. Losing the other High Templar though. And here comes the Arbiter to help try and clean up. He does have the ability to recall. No, he's going to recall stasis one of the tanks. The Dragoons are going to get trapped up here. And LML, he doesn't have any money anymore. Like, where is his money? He's almost mined out of his third base. His fourth base, I guess that was. Oh, the mines! Oh, those were big mines. Oh, and that could be big as well. No, looks like he has managed to fend off that mine for now. But here we go. The Dragoons running in against mass tanks. Where is the stasis? Where is the storm? He just does not have any. This one single zealot doing his best to try and run in with that mine, but runs back just to be sure. Now we still do have two Arbiters here. Both of them do have almost enough for a stasis and a recall. Both players still even on work account. Once again, LML has stopped from mining over here. Kyrie has been forced to start distance mining as he is almost entirely mined out. He still almost has 2k minerals though. Like, where has he got this money from? Okay, it looks like Kyrie is going to try and expand over here on the left. We do of course know that LML knows this due to this pylon. Now, LML is certainly in trouble. If he can get away with 3 massive stasis here, he is going to be in such a good position, but he does need to be careful not to get EMP. Do we even have any vessels, though? I don't think he does. Let's see what the stasis is going to be like. The good stasis there, actually getting one of the units, but he doesn't get his third stasis off. He needs to keep the Arbiter alive. He can't lose his Arbiters here. Okay, he's going to try and push forward once again. He's going to lose another Arbiter by the looks of it. Dragoons being thrown into mines for some reason. Tanks killing absolutely everything. Oh, the mine track could be massive. No, the storm though does get a ton of damage down, and it looks like he's going to clean up most of these units from Kyrie. But Kyrie has more and more reinforcements coming in. A mist storm there, double storm on those vultures, not doing as much damage as maybe they could do. And there's still a ton of tanks here. He still needs to be very careful when these units come out of stasis. This is going to be a big problem. Now we've got another storm going down. The 2 High Templar at the back getting a big storm on the tanks as they unfreeze. But still, Kyrie's army holds strong. He does have some very low health tanks, so this Arbiter going to be super important in trying to deal with this. He does get a kill with it. And finally we have a vessel. Are we going to see an EMP? Is it you can try and... Yeah, there we go. He's going to EMP it just for good measure because he wants to make sure that he doesn't get recalled. But LML, he's actually in trouble now. So is Kyrie. Both of them in a very weird position. LML, for some reason, trying to distance mine from this base when he doesn't have... Well, okay, he's got full saturation over here. But we had a recall there on the tanks. Managed to clean up a lot of them. LML, good Zealot micro. Going to get the Zealots on top of all of the tanks. And this base is going to be forfeit. He's cancelled the command center. But is he going to be able to cancel the 4th base here? If he can get on top of that, it's going to be a massive win for him. But LML can't throw away his units. They're very even on supply. The army size is completely even here. And big mines going off on top of the army. Going to make it very difficult for LML to pop in here. The Dragoons are not under the cloak. Not much is actually. The Zealots trying to get on top of the tanks. Some of the Zealots going into the 4th base wants to try and cancel out everything here. A Comsat coming up. That is going to help him momentarily, but obviously in the long term it's going to be problematic. The Zealots not able to get a huge amount of damage done. The Arbiter, he can't lose this Arbiter. If he loses this Arbiter, he's going to be in a terrible spot. He does manage to just about get it away. But Kyrie... all he has to do is try and secure this base. It's very healthy still. LML is almost mined out. We've got mines over here protecting this base, at least for now. But LML certainly does need to go for an expansion again. His work account is so low. He's actually got a ton of idle probes over here at his 3rd base. He's just realized. And look at this. The Vulture's going to be heading over to this top right base. There's no units defending this for some reason. If he loses all of these probes, it's bound to be game over. The Vulture's going to be doing a ton of damage over here. Every single probe is going to go down. Finally, the Arbiter's come over here with the Observer, and he is going to be able to push back these Vultures for now. But that is certainly not a position you want to be in as LML. You need as many workers as you possibly can. You have been trading very evenly all game, but Kyrie, because he didn't lose as many units early game, is not in too bad of a situation now. As we can see, there's an SCV moving down here to the 9 o'clock base to take it again. There is an Arbiter up here with enough for recall, but look at all the turrets in his main. He is not getting recalled there for sure. And realistically, he can't recall this 4th base anymore. The Observer does see this. Very, very important to see that. Now, Kyrie is looking around. It's funny that he cannot see this Arbiter. He did know something flew up there, but he didn't see it. But look at this. Oh, the Vulture's going to get a high Templar here over in the right-hand corner. And I mean, the worker counts are almost even again. I have no idea how to call this game anymore because I thought that LML had it for sure, but Kyrie is playing so tenacious. He has got so many tanks again. LML just does not have the army to deal with it. Kyrie has a big supply lead given the situation. And it's all in units, and look at this. LML's just running across the map with no Observer. He's going to lose everything to mines, and that is not something he can be doing right now. Oh, this is going to be a big line. No, okay. Whew, that was close. And it looks like Kyrie's realized he's going to try and cut off the 9 o'clock base. He knows this is the lifeblood of the Protoss here. There's not really that many units up here to defend. There's not really that many units overall here for LML. I mean, he's got 3 High Templar and a shuttle if he comes in. Okay, it looks like they had a little bit of a pause. BWCL was coming up shortly after the game. Oh, the EMP massive on this Arbiter. It's so important to have got that EMP off. Oh, I think this has got to be it. Surely, I don't think LML has enough to deal with this anymore. He's trying to go for a big recall over here, but there's tanks. I think LML may have just breathed his last breath here in this game, as there's absolutely nothing he's able to do. I think going for a storm drop there would have been better, and trying to get a recall on this 9 o'clock would have been better, but unfortunately the final moments of this game are happening. LML is finally mining out. He has probably about enough for 3 Dragoons. Overall, mineral-wise, he has barely any units. He's got barely any probes. The single Dragoon up here has actually managed to kill a ton of workers, but it doesn't really matter. Kyrie, with a very, very strong game here, is definitely going to take this game. I do agree with the assessment that this has been a really nutty game because, I don't know, I mean, this Dragoon has 8 kills. It's just out of range and he's not scanning it for some reason. I think it's because he knows he's just won the game. Like, he can lose those SCVs and it doesn't really matter. Looks like he's finally killed it. The turret finished before he wasted a scan. The Arbiter's going to go down. GG! LML taps out and Kyrie takes game number 2. Okay, that was a really, really crazy game. Obviously, we don't have the green screen today if you've just tuned in, but that was a really, really cool TVP on Carthage. LML and Kyrie were trading almost perfectly every single time, but unfortunately, LML started to bleed a few too many units. His working count really wasn't as high as it needed to be. But in the end, it kind of helped him because it kept him in the game a little bit longer due to the way they mined out. But I'm going to take a little bit of a longer break here just while I gather my breath and get some water down me as well, because that was quite an exciting game. So see you guys in a few minutes. Hello everyone, Kicks here. I just recently got a new PC, so I thought I'd make this video finally. Just wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you that are watching, and a massive thank you to those of you that have supported by donating and supporting on Patreon. It means a hell of a lot, and it is an absolutely massive help. I've just added another tier onto Patreon. We've got the $2 tier, which is just for the thank you message on stream. We have the $5 tier, which gives you access to all of the STPL replay files from the very beginning. There is over 1,000... Yeah, there's over 1,000 of them now. and it's growing every single week. I upload them weekly, so if you see some games you want to see from your favorite players, you can gain access to that. Now, I just added that new tier. Essentially, the new tier gives you access to send me 5 to 10 replays of your interesting games, and I will make you a 1 to 2 minute STPL highlight video like the one coming right up.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Sorry guys, seems that sound mix is different compared to the other two videos, but we'll cancel off that really quickly. Sorry for breaking your eardrums, but if you fell asleep through that TVP for whatever reason, that would be very strange given how good it was. I've woken you up, so you're back. You've come here just in time for a PvP here. Starting us off, we're going to have Red's Haratas from Germany. He's only got a 30% win rate overall, but he is 1-for-1 against Protoss, so not too bad in PvP. His opponent going to be the Chilean Pre fighting for DM. He has got 47% win rate overall, and he just has just over a 50% win rate against Protoss. So, wait, is it PvP? Yeah, it's PvP. Okay. I can never be too sure what race Pre is going to play, because sometimes he does play Zerg, unless I'm mixing him up with someone else. But regardless, we're going to be heading into our third map of today. It's going to be Desperado, one of my favorite maps from the map pool. I know I said that about the last one, but I have a lot of kind of issues with having too many favorites. Like I can't make a top 10 shit. Everything is in the top 10. It's like, if I was listing my top 10 video games, there's probably about 50 of them in there, so we just don't rate things here. But Desperado, really cool, double gas in the main. We've seen some pretty cool PvPs here. We've seen 5 of them overall. There's actually been quite a lot of PvPs on this map, so this is going to be the 6th, and let's hope it's a good one as we get into game number 3. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Red Protoss fighting for Red from Germany. It's Haratas. And his opponent spawning here in the top right hand position. We do have the blue Protoss from Chile fighting for DM. It's Pre. Yeah, I have a 10 to the power of 10 top 10. Okay, let's see how this game is going to play out. Obviously, the PvPs on here we've had so far have been pretty epic. There's been a few kind of one-sided ones, but Sugo's PvP and Tech's PvP on this map are amazing. And also, given the two double gases in the main, obviously that does change the way this map plays out. Now, usually in the STPL, we'll see mirror builds in a mirror matchup. Very, very standard for what we often get to see. But I will have to see if either player is going to do anything cheeky. Now, there's no proxy gates. I mean, I guess this is technically a proxy gate. It's certainly forward from his main, but it's not exactly a mile away, so it's not super close to the opponent. And Horotos is going to scout this immediately. He did actually go via the top of the map just to check for any proxies up there. One of the cool things you can do on this map is hide a lot of buildings up in the top middle. Now the probes are going to see each other. Bree should know where this probe came from, given the trajectory of where it was running. And he should go for the perfect scout as well. Now we've got double gateway coming in from Horotos, whereas... Oh, we've got double gateway for both of them, sorry. So yeah, mirror builds in a mirror in PvP. Is there really anything that could be any similar? Like, I can't think of any other mirror matchup where the builds are so similar early on in STPL. I don't know what it is about PvP, but it's like they both share their build order before the game and they both just go, okay, we'll both do that. But 2 Gate Zealot coming in for Horotos and 2 Gate Zealot coming in for Pre. Now Pre got his extra gateway a little bit quicker, so his Zealots are obviously going to be out a little bit faster as well. But Horotos did go for that extra Zealot early on, so he's going to have 3 Zealots before Pre is, which is kind of the interesting variation of how they've done their builds. Now we should see both of them going for gas after this. I highly doubt we're going to see Zealot on Zealot action over and over again. Now, is this a mana pylon, isn't it? It is, right? Or am I imagining things? Yeah, it's a mana pylon. Okay, it's really, really hard to tell because on the minimap you can't see the blown. But yeah, mana pylon gonna make it a little bit more difficult for Pre to actually, Horotos to actually mine his minerals. Now we do have the Zealots coming in. As you can see, it's 3 versus 2 at the top of the ramp. Shield battery coming in as well, just to be 100% safe. Gas is already done for Horotos, whereas Pre delayed it. Oh, he's building a shield battery in his opponent's main to mana the minerals even more. Now the Zealot's trying to break up the ramp, not able to find an opening. But this shield battery is a little bit superfluous. There we go, he's going to cancel that for now. But going for that shield battery and the pylon has severely delayed his gas. Now we've got actually Forge and Cybercore coming in at exactly the same time here. So we're going to see... Wait, could he possibly... Is he going to cannon rush here? That would be the weirdest decision ever. But you know what? If you build a cannon up here, or up here or something, it's very, very unlikely that Zealots are going to go look for it. I don't think this is going to be a cannon rush. Surely that's just going to be defensive, right? Yeah, he's going to put down a cannon here, I think. Yeah, okay, so he's just playing a little bit defensively. He knows his Zealot count was lower, and he knows that his opponent's got into Cybercore a little bit quicker. Now, Pre is actually doing a pretty good job here, hiding a couple of Zealots, waiting for his opponent to leave his base, so he can go in and do a little bit of counter damage. Obviously, that's easier said than done. You can never be 100% sure when your opponent's moved his units until you scout it. So, looks like the probe gonna stay alive for a little bit longer here. Just kind of keeping tabs on everything, pulling the Zealots away from the ramp momentarily, but he's also checking when the Dragoons are going to come out, because the Dragoons are obviously the big power play in PvP. Whoever has more Dragoons has victory in sight, usually in the early game. Now, is there any additional variations in the builds? Obviously, okay, so we see double gas coming in for Pre. He is going for DTs behind this. That's not a bad decision. Obviously, Horotos is not going to be able to scout him now. He is going into Robo, so he's not going for 3 Gate or anything like that. So we should see an observatory coming in fairly soon, but Horotos is pushing out on the map now. And if Pre jumps in at this exact moment, maybe he can do some damage. Okay, he has to wait for those extra units to go in. He's gonna build more cannons at the front though. This is gonna keep him alive against everything Horatoss is doing. Now, weirdly, somehow that was blocking the probe. I don't know how, but I guess that's how it works. Now, look at Horatoss. He's playing this really cleverly. He's going to hide his 2 Dragoons at the top of the ramp. The Zealots going to try and come in here to do some damage. Going to be able to find it. The Zealots holding strong against the other Zealots for now. And the Zealots at the front with the Dragoon on the high ground. Not going to be able to break through. The Zealots getting on top of the cannons. So this is a pretty big pick-off if you can get these cannons. There's a lot of lost minerals. And is he going to just break through these units? I mean, he's going to lose a load of probes here. The Zealots in the main, though, managed to get past, but they're very, very heavily damaged. He's unable to target the probes down. And look at this. He's going to unpower both of the gateways. Oh my god, this is a massive win for Horatoss. Pre was trying to get 2 DTs out of there, but they're not going to finish. He doesn't have another gateway. He doesn't have any gateways in his main. The pylon's going to finish up here, so one of the DTs is going to be lost. But can he finish this DT? No, he can't. He's going to cancel the cannon. He cancels the DT. He's got a Nexus that can do nothing. Horatoss with a big, big win here in this game. This is the 6-minute curse activating here for Pre. But he's going to stay in the game for now. He's going to add a load of cannons at the back here. Add another 2 gateways on, but he may actually be blocking himself in. This is tight here, and this is going to be tight here. So if he builds Dragoons, they're going to have to run through his mineral line, and they can't get through here. Okay, another cannon being added on. Pre is just playing super defensively now. He knows that he's behind. He's lost both of his gateways. He probably doesn't realize how far behind he actually is, though. He's down 33 supply. The Nexus is going to go down as well. Horatoss is killing it this game. Okay, well, Horatoss is in the main now. The cannons, he's got a couple, but do the cannons really matter? Like, he's going to take down the front cannon. He's not doing this perfectly. He shouldn't be losing as many units to the cannons as he is. He can actually go over here and kill the Nexus, but he's fighting the cannons for some reason, does get them. If he just kills the Nexus, it's game over, but of course, wow, he's not even building DTs. The threat of DTs isn't even there. And there's an observer, so the DTs will do absolutely nothing. The cannons are not going to save him. The Nexus is likely going to go down. There's not actually that many units over here for Horror, though. Horror's unit's getting a little bit caught up in the middle. But all he needs to do is focus down the Nexus. If he focuses down the Nexus, he just wins the game. He's not focusing properly. That's a little bit unfortunate. The Nexus actually got left alive up here, so Pre does have a place he can go mine prop. But look at this, Pre's going to jump on the back Dragoons, and he's actually going to be able to trade with these units. More Dragoons coming in though. Could this be the nail in the coffin? Pre is still trying to hold on. He's very, very far behind. But Horatoss is forced to micro very, very hard here to try and stay in this. Now more and more probes are going to go down. Horror getting in. You saw that the cannon dying there has actually been a bit helpful. Look at the Dragoon getting stuck there behind the gateways. That's really, really unfortunate. Range isn't even done here for Pre. And I mean, surely Pre has just got to tap out here. There's absolutely nothing he's going to be able to do in this game. But Horatoss, he's just not focusing anything. I'm really not sure what he's doing with Dragoons. But if he just focused the Nexus earlier, this Nexus would be almost dead. And he's not rallying across either. Is he just playing with his food? What has he been building? Where is his units? Ah. Well, this is strange. Horatoss could have won this game, but he forewent building units to try and build more gateways when he could have just won the game. That's really, really unfortunate. We've got goon on goon action. This one goon is not going to kill those. And look at this. Where's Horatoss's army? Like, Pre is down to 2 probes, so let's not get it twisted. Pre is dead. But Horatoss could have put the knife in already. And he's just playing super careful. It's almost like he feels like his opponent has a load of bases somewhere else. I've got no problem with Kick's GG timings. He's got a probe and a dream. He's up to 3 probes now, 4 probes actually. And honestly, if Horotos doesn't want to kill his opponent, then that's going to give Pri an out back into the game. You never ever know what's going to happen in PvP. And there's no cannon. Okay, so finally a cannon's coming in. Imagine at this stage if suddenly 2 DTs managed to get into the main base and kill all the probes. Like, that happened in, what was the PvP we saw on Whiteout where a DT killed like 30 probes? I mean, really, I don't actually understand why Horotos isn't just killing his opponent. I guess he wants to remove all sense of doubt that he has any small chance of losing the game. So he is just playing incredibly carefully, does not want to throw anything away. And he's going to storm drop the remaining probes, but the trouble is, there's so few of them, they're so well spread, the storm isn't going to do anything. That's really funny. Oh, this one could be big. So he storms, he's going to see the probes, and he's going to wait. Has he not got Storm yet? I saw Storm researching. Is he baiting the probes into death? Where's the Storm? Why is he not storming? He's going back in, but there's an empty mineral line. Like, what's he going to storm over here? Oh no, okay, the probes ran in there. How did this probe not get damage? Okay, well, now Pri is going to push out. He thinks he's got a bit of advantage here. It's almost like this replay's bugged, but I know it's not. It's because Horotos is just playing so unbelievably carefully. He's essentially just doing the Artosis mantra of when you're ahead, get more ahead. And now surely Pri is going to tap out from this. Like, oh my god, is he going to get all these probes? Oh my god, he transfers through his own nest. Oh! He transfers through his own storm. He kills a ton of his own probes. That was not a place to have your probes. Oh, that was really unfortunate timing from Horotos there, but I mean, this game is essentially over. It's hard for me to cast it. Double upgrades once again coming in. He's going up to 2-2 upgrades against a player who has 13 probes and 3 gateways. Triple cannon coming in. I mean, if he holds here, it is going to be a miracle. Like, if he manages to hold against this army... No, there we go. He's going to tap out. GG. Pre-tapped out. Horotos takes game number 3. Okay, so... Obviously, that was a little bit of a weird game there. Obviously, not the most exciting PvP we've ever had. The opening was pretty good, but then... things just kind of went downhill for Pri, so Pri stayed in as long as he possibly could, and that gave Horotos the win in the end, playing super carefully. And we're going to be heading into game number 4 when we get back after this very short break. It's going to be Eriador versus Yop in a PvZ. See you guys very soon.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does! Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage. Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL. STPL does. All that and more. Only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? I know I am. Why not support us on the link below? Patreon.com/kicks. But act fast. It's a limit. Hello guys and welcome back to the STPL. We're going to jump straight into game number 4. It's going to be starting for red Eriador. And thanks Gypsy, I'm glad you like it. Abby, I'm going to delete your message because you shouldn't be saying that, man. That's not very fair. It's cool, I can't figure out how to delete your message, so it's fine. But yeah, Eriador, a sick player. He has got an incredible win rate versus Protoss with his EVP. We're going to get a chance to see his PvZ here. He's not had as much luck with his Protoss versus Zerg as his EVP. He's 1 win, 3 losses, but the games he plays are always very, very fun. And we're going to be heading in to DMZ up.
I support this production.
Thank you very much, Gypsy, for the tier 1 sub. 3 months, man. Good to see you back once again. But yup, playing for DM, we've not seen as much from him. We've only seen 3 games. He's obviously won 2 of them. And he's beaten the only Protoss he's played against. So that was on Casted Tree, that was against Scarfs. And they are going to be heading on to our 4th map of today. It's going to be Neo Outlier. Okay, that's kind of funny. But yeah, Neo Outlier is an amazing map. Very, very fun, very dynamic. The ZVPs we've seen on here have been incredible. We've seen mass drops, we've seen queens, we've seen mass drones, we've seen everything you could possibly want from a ZVP. We've seen Guardians on here as well. And I think with Eriador at the helm of Protoss here, we may possibly get to see some Dark Archons. I don't want to kind of like promise that, but if anyone's going to go Dark Archons, it's going to be him, so I'm looking forward to it. Obviously Protoss 6-2 up at the moment, so this is definitely a difficult situation for Zerg to be in, but let's head into game number 4. It's Eriador versus Yop. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the red Protoss fighting for red. All the way from Norway, it's Eriador. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Peruvian Zerg fighting for DM. It's Yop. Yop is Mexican. Okay, someone told me he was Peruvian. I'll have to fix that. I'll do that after the game. That might be a deal breaker. Well, hopefully it's not too much of a big problem, but let's see how Eriador plans to play this out. He usually plays pretty conservatively, and he usually goes double upgrades in both Zerg versus Protoss and Protoss versus Zerg. Now, he is in fact going to go for a gateway first here, more aggressive opening. Punishes, obviously, 12 hatches. But it looks like we're likely gonna have an overpull here from Yop. Although he is going for mass drone. So yeah, it's actually going to be a 12 hatch. So this is going to be a perfect situation for Eriador to start off the game. I know I said that Eriador usually has long games. Like, I think if I was to take all the games on average, I think, and all the players, I think I've not found a way of doing this properly yet. But if I could, and if I could find a way of doing it without spending like 10 years doing it, I think if we worked out the average, Eriador, along with Radley, have probably played on average the longest games. Now, Eriador does know that it is indeed 12 hatch, so he's actually going to send a second probe out to help his Zealot do some more damage. There is a Forge coming up, so it's going to be Gateway Forge before Nexus, but he does have the option of going for a Cannon Rush here. And that looks like what he's going to do. Yeah, he's going to block his probe in. He can put another pylon here. And there is going to be no way for Yop to be able to get up there to do any damage. Now, the drones have been pulled. He needs to try and go and kill this pylon. Or is he going to gas stack? I think that, well, technically that's banned in the tournament. Because I said IC Cup competitive rules. So, yeah, it looks like he's not going to be able to do that. Eriador unable to actually block off the other entrance. Didn't get enough, or he didn't get a second pylon up quick enough. Little bit of a mistake here by Eriador. Now, there's no Zealot in the main or anything. The Zealot only just now coming in, but there's obviously a lot of lost mining time. And the pylon has still finished, so he can still add cannons. Now, whether or not he plans to do that is yet to be discovered, but I mean, Yop is just going to kind of run away with his drones. He needs to wait for some Zerglings in his pool. His Zerglings are only just now done, so if he can maybe get these two Zealots at the top of the ramp, this is going to be a very good position for Eriador to be in, but he does need to be careful. This is a lot of Lings. Okay, Eriador going to pull back a little bit, but Yop diving on, getting a really good engagement with these two Zealots. He's actually going to trade incredibly well. A third Zealot is on the way, but definitely not a good position for Eriador right now. Good micro on this single Zealot, going to keep it alive, but he's got a pylon that's doing absolutely nothing. There's no cannon up here to cannon rush or anything, and his Nexus is still not done. This is definitely a very weird situation for Eriador to be in. Now, looks like the third Zealot has in fact gone down. No, it did manage to run away, but there's an additional Zealot in trouble here. Looks like he gets a good bit of micro there on that to kill a few additional Zerglings. A drone is being chased away from the third base. That's a pretty big win for Eriador, but he is of course incredibly far behind. Just in terms of expansions. Now, he's forced out a ton of Lings, so the drone count isn't super high. So that's kind of the saving grace here of this situation. But I mean, this pylon just isn't doing anything for him. He never really got the chance to build a cannon up there. And when speed kicks in, okay, speed isn't going to be kicking in because Yop has forgone any gas. He's just relying entirely on Lings without speed. Yeah, this is, I mean, Yop's done an incredibly good job holding on to this. Interestingly, he's not teching up behind this, but he is massing drones and massing Lings, and he's getting a third hatchery. And this third hatchery is going to be massive because Eriador, look at this, it's 5 minutes into the game and his Nexus isn't done. Now, Yop gets a pretty good engagement on that first Zealot. Oh my god, the drone even helping out there, just being a little bit of a bigger wall at the rally point, so that's going to help. There's only 3 Zealots left up at the front. +1 attack is obviously a mile away right now. Gas is only just now finishing up, so both players, their gas and their tech is so late. I really wonder how this is going to play out because this isn't your normal PvZ. Look at this, we've got another hatchery coming up here to add onto the wall. Nice engagement by Yop, actually doing a ton of damage on these Zealots. Zealots get at least 1 drone, 2 drones. Can they get a third? Wait, what's... Oh, there's a... I was like, what is this Zergling attacking? But the pylon's up there. So the pylon is eventually going to be taken down. But the Zealot's going to find the third base. He does need to be careful. Losing this many Zealots, he doesn't really have any army. He's only got 10 supply in army units right now, and given the position Protoss would usually be in the game, this is not normal. Now, I don't know how else I can really explain this, but we've got Yop going up to 5 hatcheries, his gas is finally done, Hydra Den is on the way, and if he starts pumping Hydras, what units does Eriador have to defend against it? His +1 attack is a mile away, his Citadel is only just now starting to come up, so Zealot leg speed is going to be a long way away, and so is Storm. So if we see Yop just spam a ton of Hydras, that's going to be amazing, but it looks like Yop is playing this out like Pre did on Neo Outlier, where Pre went up to like 50 drones within 9 minutes, and then he kind of fell over. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to see a similar situation with Yop. Yop has, of course, built a ton of units leading up to this moment, but he is getting his economy really skyrocketing now. Now, Eriador adding on his additional gateways finally. He's actually trapped a probe in here. I don't know if this was intentional, but he can use that for Stargate. But he doesn't have a Stargate yet, so not super important. Okay, second gas coming in. Lair still not coming in just yet, unless I just saw that at the main. No. So no Lair and no Spire. He is going to be building, like, as soon as he gets the number of drones he wants, he is just going to be building nothing but Hydralisks. Finally the Lair is coming in. This is such a strange game. Hydra range on the way. No Hydra pressure so far. And I mean, if you think about the position Yop was in, if he just spammed Hydras just before, I think he would have broken Ares' wall. Eriador did not have that much back at home. But I think much like Horotos did in the last game, he just wants to play this safe. He doesn't want to throw this. Because if you think about it, it's game 4, his team are down 2-1. If Yop loses this game to Eriador, we're not going to see an ace match. Obviously, if Eriador does win this... if Yop wins this even, we'll be going to a game 5. So, this is a very, very important game. This is a very important series for both these teams as well, given they are both kind of middle of the table. Okay, looks like Ares finally pushing out. +1 attack is still not done, but it's almost there. He's going to catch the Hydralist at the top of this ramp. Good timing. Before the Hydras can really get into play, but I mean, he's going to have to fall back. There's no way he can deal with all these Hydras with just this many Zealots. +1 attack isn't even done. I just look how quickly the Zealots are starting to melt to the Hydras at the back. Obviously, he does have the high ground. There's not that many Hydras here. And +1, I think, must have just finished. Yeah, +1 just finished. So this is a little bit of a better engagement here for Eriador, but if Yop controls this properly, this is going to be a ton of dead Zealots that Eriador can't really afford to replace, and he does have his 2 bases. But how many units is Eriador going to have to lose? Now the Zealots going to try and move around and do a little bit of counter damage at this third, possibly. No, just going to wait here to get some shields back. They know they can't engage, but look at this. Eriador's forced to build a ton of cannons. They're not done yet, so if Yop goes, he might break this. This is a big, big moment in the game. Eri trying to eat some of the hits from the Hydras with the Zealots. He's not going to be able to get on top of the cannons. He's not target firing. And Eri holds for now, but more and more Hydralists are moving across the map now to join this engagement at the front. And he's jumping on the cannons. The Hydras at the back, unable to get on top of them, but he's going to slowly take them down. There's finally a High Templar here, and he's worried about Storm, but there's no Storm yet, so if he just goes again, he could actually snipe that High Templar. That would be a massive, massive pickoff. But Yop is unsure just how behind Eriador's tech is. And here we go. He's going to push in. He's going to get another cannon. There goes Storm, though. A nice Storm doing a ton of damage to those Hydralisks. But there's just more and more Hydras coming in. This is not the end of that engagement. Actually, moving a few drones over as well. Starting to drone up now as well. Going into a 6th hatchery. Going into a Spire. There's no Queen's Nest. So there's not going to be any Hive anytime soon. Now, wait, is he just going to expand up here? You know what? Building a hatchery here would actually be very good. You could start adding on Sunkens, slowly push the creep towards the wall and just win the game. But it looks like he is going to send the drone back. He doesn't want to kind of style. Obviously, if you try and style on your opponent by doing something you wouldn't normally do, sometimes it can go incredibly wrong. Tech-wise, Ariador adding on a ton of additional gateways. Range for his Dragoons finally come in. There's no additional tech, unless that's a Robo coming in. Yeah, so Robo finally coming in with a cannon. If we see drop here, he could probably just end the game right here, right now. There's not that many units. He does have a big lurker field outside the front of his opponent's main. I'm really not sure how Ariador is going to find his way out of this. He has a probe over here, so how did this probe even get to this location? And what is that probe even going to be able to do? I guess he can go and scout a little bit later. It's scouting for a drop coming in. But, okay, so we finally have Overlord speed coming in. I mean, I don't think the supply counters are broken. If they are, that would be a very weird situation. Like, they've both traded blows quite heavily in the early game, and both of them didn't tech for ages, so... You know what? That would be the weirdest bug. I don't think I've ever seen that happen, but the gateway goes down, the lurker field at the front, this Hydra gonna move in, try and snipe one of the High Templar. No? A little bit unfortunate there. Yup, moving around with some units. Going to take the other natural. This is going to give him access to the other main, of course. Not opting to go for the island bases around the edge. But is going to go and scout for Ariador taking them, just in case, with some Scourge finally. And here we go. Looks like Yop is going to try and push forward. Now he gets a good number of Dragoons at the front. Lures them into the lurker field. Storm whiffing. Not the best storms there by Ariador. Gonna get one of the lurkers though. Nice moves with that Dragoon to get that final hit in. Is he going to take this base? He should do. Storms not bad there at the front. But the issue is, how is he ever going to break out? He has +2 attack finally, and he does have a good number of gateways. We've got another storm going down on the lurkers. Nicely played by Ariador. Yeah, I genuinely have no idea how Ariador is going to break out of this base. And look at this. Okay, it's not a drop. He doesn't have drop yet. Forgot about that. Still no Overlord drop coming in, but he's going to be able to scout with those Overlords. He's actually bringing a ton of Overlords with his army now as well. I feel like he should have drop, or at least he should be getting it, because I don't see why you wouldn't just go for drop here. Looks like Ariador actually managing to push out. Nicely done. Getting another lurker. And it's going to give him the option of going around the edge of the map here. Now, this is a very risky play. If you leave your front, you're going to be in trouble. Now, these are full energy High Templar. He needs to use Storm. He's not storming. Two of the High Templar going down with full energy. Not a position Ariador wants to be in, but Yop pushing forward once again. A lot of Ares units getting stuck in the middle, but a huge storm on those Hydralisks. But look at this. The area around the edge has been blocked. Now, he has got a big army down here, so he can go and cancel this fourth base, but he doesn't know about it yet. He hasn't been scouting because he's been completely trapped in his main. Now, he's got two observers here. Looks like finally we see Yop has noticed that the units have actually managed to escape, so maybe Ariador can get some damage done. He at least needs to kill these bases, and looks like that's going to be what he's going to do. He assumes that Yop's going to have expanded down here, and he is correct. Now, more and more units from Ariador have managed to push out onto the middle of the map. They're going to get stuck between a rock and a hard place, so Ariador's units, despite having a relatively big army to kill both of these hatcheries, his units are going to get stuck here, and that's not a position Ariador really wants to be in. But look how many storms he has here. Let's have a look how good they are. Obviously, Storm on its own is very good, but you need to at least hit the units with it, and he's done pretty good so far. Getting a ton of damage on those Hydras. He kills both of the hatcheries, but is this going to be enough? The High Templar all going to go down here. That's a big loss. The Zealots actually getting caught on this lava. Lava takes a very long time to die. They do have 11 armor, so They're only taking about 5 damage per hit from these zealots, but it looks like Eriador going to try and push out the front now. A lot more units did try and escape, at least a couple of probes. And with all of Yop's units elsewhere, Eriador has broken out, and this is the position he wants to be in. Now Yop lost a ton of units trying to defend that bottom left. He's going to manage to run into the 4th base, or 3rd base attempt even by Eriador. So Eriador going to need to scout or cancel this. Yeah, there we go. He cancelled at the last second. We've got another probe coming out, but he is going to be able to take another 3rd. And look at this. Eriador thinking about putting some pressure on at the natural. Eriador being able to break out of that contain is massive, because that is not a position a lot of Zerg players or a lot of Protoss players could get past. And the trouble is, though, Eriador is mined out in his main. His natural is going to be quite close. Well, his natural, because he took it so late, is still quite healthy. Same with Yop, actually. Yeah, this is certainly not the best position for Eriador to be in, but he's made all of the right moves so far. Now, it's funny you see 2 observers fly by Scourge and they don't die. There's no overlords over here anymore, but there is a High Templar. Oh my god, can he storm? If he just stormed on that would have been so much damage. Man, that was unfortunate. But do we have drop coming in for the Zerg? No, we actually have Hive coming in. Queen's Nest is done. I don't think we'll see Queens. Unfortunately, Eriador isn't the one playing Zerg, but here we go. A couple of Scourge going to go down. We've got Yop taking the left-hand corner here. He's going to take down the temples as well to expand up towards this top left. I mean, obviously he may think that Eriador's got a base up here as well, but he's going to have to go through another temple. Yop going to expand yet again. And let's see how good Eriador's big army management is, because he's up 30 supply at the moment. He's still on +2 attack, so he's not got +3 just yet. It's almost finished, and he's also going into armor upgrades. I did say Eriador's most likely go for double upgrades, but his economy hasn't really been able to support it yet. But he finally has the 3rd gas. He has his 3rd base up. Now Yop has managed to break through here. Now, not only does Yop have a chance to take this base, it also gives him a backdoor entrance into Eriador's main. Now, Eriador at the time is moving through the middle of the map, seeing if he can get any damage done, with Yop sending most of his army down here. He's actually left his main 3rd base unattended, and there's going to be 3 hatcheries that are going to go down here. This is massive. There's a ton of drones here as well. You can see Yop is pulling everything back from the bottom left. A storm going down. He kind of needs to save those for his flank, though. And there we go, a big storm on the units at the back. Let's see how the lurkers are. That's a little bit of a whiff storm, but he kills one of the hatcheries. And it looks like Eriador is going to get a very, very good trade here as he pushes into this 3rd base. A lot of the units coming in from behind have gone down. But his units are now stuck. He's going to have Zerg coming in from both sides. Let's see how good his engagement is. He's got a lot of storm still left. He needs to make sure he uses it wisely, though. A big storm on the Hydralis. That's going to help him a ton. And one of the High Templar with energy does go down. He does have an Archon coming in. And this is still a good number of units. He hasn't managed to kill the base, so Yop does hold on. And Eriador could lose all of his army here. This is a big, big loss. But he's still got units. He's still fighting. Can he make it work? And Lurker going down. Looks like one of the observers was picked off, so there's just one left. And the army of Eriador is going down, but he still has a relatively big army supply lead here with his reinforcements. There's not actually that many of them. Oh yes, we've got Dark Archon play. This is what I wanted to see from Eriador. Let's check the Templar archives to see what he's upgrading. No, he's not upgrading anything at the moment, so unfortunately we're not going to see mind control. That would be kind of ridiculous if we went for a drone, but here we go. Big storms at the front. There's a lurker here, but he can't see it. Is he going to maelstrom it? No, he's just going to storm it. And there we go. He's going to lose one of his High Templar to the storm, but kills a ton of those lings. Yop has managed to secure the bottom left base. He saved his 3rd base over here, and he's once again going to move in and deny this 4th base from Eriador. Now, Eriador trying to take this base is very, very, very difficult. That is where Yop is trying to expand to. It's obviously the furthest place from Yop's main. Are we going to see feedback on Defilers? I really hope we see feedback on Defilers. That would be amazing. We've not seen that so far in the STPL ever, so Okay, there's not actually that many units down here in the bottom left. The units from Zerg gonna go in to counterattack on this third base. This is one of the final remaining bases here for Eriador. There's no storm up here. And look at this, Eriador forced to pull everything back. He's getting pulled out of position yet again. The Lurker's getting on top of the probes. Oh my god, this could be a huge spot. The spine. A ton of probes going down, but not as many as it could have been. But look at these cannons. The cannons hold strong, but almost go down. And Eriador. Oh, feedback! Feedback! Yes, he does, but a little bit too late. But he kills that Defiler. A great feedback. A little bit too late, though, on the first feedback there. So Storm does go down, but that's a big storm. A Swarm goes down even. And we do still have a Dark Archon with feedback energy at the back. He obviously does have Maelstrom as well. 200 energy. Look at this Storm on the back. Defilers, there's absolutely nothing for them to consume. And all of these drones are going to be pulled. This base is finally going to go down. Nice Storm at the back on top of the Lurker eggs. Not going to kill them, but he does have a second Storm. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a big, big Storm. Do we have feedback energy to get this Defiler at the back? That would be incredibly good. More units coming from behind. Does the Lurker get on the Swarm? Yes, it does. There is Zealots here. Is there going to be feedback? He needs the feedback. Yes, he does. Nice feedback from Eriador once again. Stopping the plague on his army. And this is how you play PvZ with Dark Archons. He's got still nearly a full energy Dark Archon here. That's going to allow him to Maelstrom a large swathe of Lings. He's going to secure his fourth base over here, at least for the time being. But a ton of Lings are coming out, but they're heading straight to try and defend the Heartland. GG, Yop taps out, and Eriador wins game number 4. Okay, I finally got my wish. I finally got to see some feedbacks in a PvZ. I knew Eriador would come through for me because he is a Dark Archon user. TT1, this is why we need you. We need you to use Dark Archons more, but you kind of haven't joined the team yet, so get on that, man. That is a cool win for Eriador, and that is going to take us to an ace match here with us tied up 2-2, and we're going to get into that ace match when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon.
And people like Kix, for example, who has an encyclopedic knowledge of every map that's ever been released on StarCraft. And
he's the map man! Skibidi on did it. Skibidi on did it. Skibidi on did it. He's the map man! Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dee da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Bee-da-ba-ba-da-boop. Ba-ba-ba-da-boop. Everybody plays one way or the other, so check out my message to you. As a matter of fact, I don't let nothing hold you back. If Kix can do it, so can you. Gooba-dooba-dooba-dee-da-ba-ba-da-boop, ba-ba-ba-da-boop.
Please don't listen to him for maps.
Yeah.
Okay, so Eriador is going to break my overlay here. I don't actually know how I'm going to deal with this, so I'll have to submit their results afterwards. But starting us off here in the top middle position, we do have the red Terran fighting for DM in this ace match. It's going to be Kyrie. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand position. We do have the Grey Zerg fighting for red. It's Eriador. Now, because we have never had someone play two separate races in a single series, my overlay does not deal with this very well. So for the purposes of this match, Eriador is going to be Protoss. We'll have to change that afterwards, but it's not the end of the world, thankfully. We can fix it in the database afterwards. This should be a cool matchup. Obviously, Eriador, a very strong Zerg player, a very old school Zerg player as well. He's pretty much been playing since before Brood War was invented. Since before StarCraft was even invented, he has been playing this game. He is the Elder Kai of Brood War, as I've called him before. Kyrie, of course, a very strong Terran player for DM. He did a very good job in the previous match we had, and this is going to be the ace match here on New Tornado. New Tornado, if you haven't seen it before, is a very standard map, and everything should be pretty good for both players. Okay, now we had a 12 hatchery coming in for Eriador. Kyrie is going for gas. Now, Eriador and ZVP, or ZVT even, the games we've seen of him so far, he often likes going for early Mutalisks. He's not adverse to going for early Ling attacks either, so if he sees no expansion, if he sees gas with this drone, I think we could see a little bit of early aggression coming in from Eriador, because one of the big things that Eriador is really strong against is mech openings. Now, Eriador actually has like this Hydra Queen bust that he does, where essentially, because your opponent always opens Goliaths when they go mech, you go mass Hydra and broodling the like 2 or 3 tanks that the Terran has, and you just kind of bust your way through. But look at this, Eriador still trying to get that drone in, unable to see anything, but does see no expansion, so he should know that this is in fact a gas opening, but he won't know what's coming up behind it. Now, that's something we haven't yet to find out, but it is going to be an expansion, as we can see from the gases. He's not going for 2-port Wraith or anything. And look at this, Eriador already spawning some Lings here off of both of his hatcheries. He is going to play aggressive, and this could actually be very strong. Kyrie only went for a single Marine. He's seen the Lings, but how is he going to deal with them? He's got a Vulture coming. He's going to need to pull some SUVs to block the ramp. If he doesn't respond to what he scouted, he is going to likely lose this game, but obviously this Vulture is going to pop out at the right time, and Eriador does not know what Kyrie is doing right now, so he is not going to play super aggressive. But here we go, the Ling's going to come in and at least delay that command center. Oh my god, he's going to get on top of the Vulture. He gets a full surround on the Vulture. No, the Vulture managing to just about get away. The Marine goes down though, and the Lings are going to be free to go into the main if they want. Looks like he is just trying to delay that command center as long as possible. The Vulture doing its best to stay alive against these Lings. Very, very difficult. Very good micro. Oh, the Vulture goes down, and there's still 2 Lings here. He didn't build a second Vulture, so there's going to be 2 Lings in the main. The command center is likely going to have to be cancelled. Looks like Eriador is going to pull back, though. He's not 100% sure what's going on. Lair is actually at the natural, but more and more Lings are being added on. There is a Hydra Den done as well. He's going into 2 Hatchery Lurker against a Terran player who has very, very little. And this could be the 6-minute curse activating in this game. The Lings coming in once again, trying to get a surround on this Vulture. No, they're going to forego the Vulture here. They're just going to go for the Marines. They know that the bunker is all that's going to keep them alive against the Lurker later on. And look at this, the Marines have gone down. There's nothing to get in the bunker anymore. And the Vulture micro, it's good, but is it good enough? Another Vulture goes down to Lings. This Vulture goes down again as well. And And get your 6-minute curse emotes ready, guys, if you have them, because this game is pretty much done. Ariador doing way too much damage now, taking out a ton of SCVs. Kyrie having the same issue I have, where Ling seems to do 1,000,000 damage. And he's going to try and keep the bunker alive, but once again, there's nothing in it. The Marine's going to try and get over there, but it could get focused down. No, it does get in the bunker, so that is a little bit of respite here for Kyrie. And he does, of course, have a speed vulture. If he can get in and do a ton of damage, he's going to be in a good spot. Now, is he going to see the Hydras? He does now. There's 2 vultures he's going to try and run past. Oh, he gets stuck! Ariador with the block gets one of the vultures, and obviously it takes 3 hits from a single vulture to kill a drone. I mean, Kyrie's not going to do any damage here with this, and he sees more and more Hydras. This is surely going to be it. There's no Queen's Nest, unfortunately, but he doesn't need it. He just needs mass Hydras. Now, Kyrie does have 2 Marines, a bunker, and a Dream. Because we've seen, even in the ASL, what a single bunker can do against mass Hydras with good repair. But is his repair going to be enough against the Lurkers? The Lurkers are surely going to end this. Look at this, one of the Lurkers going to get into the main base as well, going to get on the ramp. The SCV's doing their best to try and deal with it. The Marines are going to pull back from the bunker. Now, our turret's being very, very quickly constructed here at the top of his ramp. If he can hold on against this, maybe he has a chance. Ariador's economy is not super great back at home, but look at this. The Lurker's getting on top of the building turrets. There's another turret coming in, but all he needs to do is focus this down. The Lurker, though, getting very, very low. It's out of turret range, so that is going to be a win here for Ariador. Yeah, for Ariador even. And oh my god, the Lurkers are actually going to get towards the mineral line. There's no second base just yet. The command center is finished. But what does it matter? He can't transfer through Lurkers. He knows there's a large number of Hydras, at least as far as he's aware. At the back, he's making more and more Lurkers. He's flooding with Lings. And I think this is bound to be it. We've got, oh, SCVs traveling through Lurker spines. Not where you want to be, and here we go. The Lings come in, the tank, he's trying to keep it alive, he's trying to repair, he cannot, oh, he gets us around but doesn't have the right repair going, and GG, Kyrie taps out, and Ariador takes game number 5. Okay, I mean, good job by Ariador there. He goes in with a very aggressive opening against Kyrie, who was playing relatively safe, but he wasn't playing safe enough. He didn't get enough defenses early on against the first 6 Lings, and that obviously ends that series 3-2 in favor of Red. So let's quickly add on that game to the results, and then we will quickly head on over to have a look at the results screen here, just to kind of round out this series. There is another series coming in after this, so don't go anywhere. But of course, a 3-2 reverse sweep here for Red. J1 taking down Horitos, Kyrie taking down LML in an incredibly close, incredibly tight TVP. Horitos winning over Pre on Desperado, Ariador beating Yop in that really exciting PvZ. And in a ZVT to finish us off here on New Tornado, Ariador wins the ace match for his team. And that's going to take us into our next series when we get back after this break. See you guys very soon.